Are we ready? Did you start?
I think she's on mute.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back and happy Friday. This is Stacy Whitehead with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Tau Beta Omega chapter. We are ready to start our final CAP session for 2020. And today we are going to do a special presentation about financial aid and researching scholarships. But before we begin, we're going to play a game called Kahoot, and it's going to be an HBCU trivia game. So as I'm talking, this will give you a few more minutes because you need to go ahead and either load the app onto your phone, or you can just go to kahoot.com on your computers to play along. And that is spelled K-A-H as in Harry, O-O-T as in Tom, kahoot.com. Again, this is the website that we're going to use to play an HBCU trivia game. And the prize is going to be for first and second place will be that we will actually review and edit and critique your personal essays, your college personal essays. So if you are the winner, first and second place, again, we will review and critique and help edit your personal essays for your college applications. All right, so let's see. I'm going to check our participant list right quick. I'm hoping, let's see. Can you guys raise your hands? I think I can see on the reactions here. If you can raise your hands so that I could see if you already have Kahoot loaded and you're ready to start playing. Is anyone raising their hands? I don't see any hands raised.
So Cece in the chat,
I see one.
Marissa in the chat says she does.
Okay. Is Marissa going to play by herself? Okay, well, I'll give everyone a few more minutes to, another minute to get it loaded. You see, oh, I see your thumb up. Okay, Christelle. And who else do we have? Anyone else?
I downloaded it, but I have no idea what to do.
Well, I'm going to give you the instructions. So what'll happen is once we're ready to get started, I'm going to generate a PIN number, P-I-N, a PIN number, which I will give to you. And once you go onto the Kahoot site, then you'll enter that PIN and you'll be able to see the game.
Will this work from the app as well, Stacy?
I'm sorry, ask your question again.
Will it work from the app as well, or does it have to be from the website?
The app is fine, either way.
Okay, thank you.
All right, do we have any students on with us today?
Sure do.
Okay. Are the students planning to play? Because this is really for you guys, for your benefit. And it's going to be a fun game. See how much you know about HBCUs.
So I know we have Alicia and Marissa.
Okay. Alicia and Marissa, do you mind letting me know if you are able to open up Kahoot? Marissa, she's a student and ready to play. Okay.
Yeah, my app is ready. I'm ready for the pen whenever.
And who was that was speaking?
Marissa.
Okay, Marissa, thank you so much. And who else is on here? Did you say Alicia?
Mm-hmm. Alicia's audio it doesn't show it as connected, so I don't know if she could talk.
Okay. All right, well, we will just go ahead and get started. Give me a second here to generate the pin. Stand by. Oh, let's see. Let me close this out. Okay, hold on. The pen is generating. It's loading. Stand by, stand by. Okay, here we go. 257. Can someone put this in the chat for me, please? The pin is 257 5417. Again, 257 5417. I'm waiting for the players. I see Marissa. Who else? Come on in, guys. I see Britt. Can you guys hear this music, by the way? Or is it just on my side?
It's just on your side, Stacy.
Okay. Because I'm, all right. Anyone else going to play with us?
Sure am. I'm coming.
I see Miss Christelle. I see Sa. I'll wait just a few more seconds here. Miss Munice, you're welcome to join us as well. Miss Christelle, are there any other students?
Let's see on here. I don't see any other students yet.
Okay.
So we can see. We'll see if there are any others that trickle on in.
Okay, so I guess we should go ahead and get started. Now, I'm not going to share my screen, but you guys can see the Kahoot on your side, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to hit the start button. Ready, set, go.
I don't see any Kahoot on. I don't see any share screen or anything. Where's the
Oh,
Kahoot?
I'm not sharing my screen.
Oh, so at least you have to Kahoot.com and then put in the number that's in the
Hey, Stacy, you do have to share your screen because we won't see the actual question.
question.
You
Oh,
have to share your screen for us to see the question.
okay, hold on.
Because all we have is the little dots for us to pick.
Sorry.
That's okay. And I know I can't play because I already know the answers, but
Oh no, I'm messing up. Where's the first one? Can I start this over?
you might, yeah, because you timed out on the first one.
Okay. I apologize, you guys. Let's start over and share screen. Here we go. So the first one, you'll see when I go up to, when I pull up the share screen. And that was, what does HBCU stand for? That was kind of a gimme just to get the game started. So unfortunately, I already let it start and we're gonna have to skip that one. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yep.
Very good. Okay,
What's
let's
the
move on
code
to the
again?
next question. I'm sorry?
In the chat.
Oh, the code is in the chat to
Yes.
log in.
So Kahoot.com. And then
Yeah, hold on, Stacy, before you
Okay, we have one more person joining.
Yes.
yeah, Alicia's trying to join the game. So she's putting the code in now.
Okay. 2, 5, 7, 5, 4, 1, 7. Okay, I answered. Oh, 1.
Out of curiosity, did anyone not know what HBCU stood for? I'm just curious because I just assume everybody knows, but I don't know.
I know what it stands for.
Okay, good, good, good.
Okay, and then
Is that Alicia?
yes.
Okay, very good. We're gonna move to the next question. Everybody ready? Here we go. Oh, that's just showing the scores. Okay, here we go.
oh, that Morehouse at 15.
Here we go with the answers. All right. Sa is in the lead. Okay. Ready for the next one? Here we go. You have 20 seconds, by the way. 20 seconds for each one. Next question. Okay, let's see. North Carolina A&T, 2 people got that right. What's the score now? Okay, Sa is still in the lead. Very
So
good.
we're coming for you.
Okay,
Where
Marissa.
are you,
Okay, ready for the next one. Here we go. 20 seconds. Everyone got that one right. Woohoo! All right, all right. Little competition here. Next question.
Two Chains.
Let's see.
Ooh, 3 people got that one right. 2 Chains on
Wow.
scholarship.
I did not. I said it out loud. Oops.
Okay, next question. One person got it wrong. Okay, let's see let's see what the score is now. Ooh, Sa and Kira, very close, very close. Look at this. KR has a win streak of 3 in a row. Okay.
Kira says
All right,
she can't
next
play because she knows
question.
the answers. I'm confused. What's going on here?
I saw you playing, so I was like, I gotta jump in.
Spellman Bennett.
Right. Spelman College and Bennett College are the 2 all-female HBCUs. Ooh, the lead changed again. Here we go. All right. Next question.
Kamala. Oops.
Okay, you're gonna have to go on mute.
I got excited.
All of the above. Yes, Chadwick Boseman, Kamala Harris, and Stacey Abrams. Very good, very good. I believe, let's see, Kamala went to Howard, Stacey Abrams went to Spelman, and Chadwick, I want to say, went to Howard, I believe. I think. Okay. Oh, look at Risa moving up in the world. All right now. What? Okay. Next question. Question number 9. That is correct. Louisiana State, also known as LSU, is not an HBCU. However, it is in Baton Rouge, which is where Southern University is located, which is an HBCU. All right, let's see the scores. Okay, KR and SA are still battling back and forth here. All right, final question. The answer is true. Florida A&M University, also known as FAMU, is the largest of the HBCUs. Very good, you guys. Let's see who the final winner is. The podium, 3rd place, Brittany. Woo, Brittany! 2nd place, Sa. Woo! first place with the spotlight, KR. All right,
So-
you guys.
Oh,
Thank
wow,
you
look,
so
the
much for
winners-
playing. I hope you enjoyed it.
Stacy, but our runner-ups were Marissa and
Alicia.
and Alicia. They were 4th and 5th place. So those would be our two
Our students.
winners. Yep, our two student
And
winners.
how do I exit? Here we are.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool. Yay.
Yeah,
Just
I
want
hope you guys have
clarification. We
fun.
did say, Stacy, that the top 2 students would get the
Yep.
assistance, correct?
Right, right.
Yep.
So that was
Excellent.
Yes,
very
that's
good. So Alicia, what year are you right now? Are you a junior or a senior?
Senior.
Very good. Have you started your college applications?
No, but I did do my FAFSA.
Okay, very good. Have you started working on your personal essay or personal statement?
No, not really yet. I was kind of nervous. I'm not really sure what to put. I don't know what I want to do yet.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Well, we'll be happy to help you out with that. This Miss Christelle, do you have Alicia and Marissa's contact information?
I do.
Okay, very good. So, Marissa, what year are you in high school?
I'm a senior.
Very good. Have you started your filling out your college applications?
Yeah, I have.
Very good. And
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you about to say?
I was just gonna say it's coming along good.
Very good. Have you written your personal essay?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to review it for you, critique it, and let you know, unless you feel pretty good about it and you've already submitted it and used it a few times. It's really up to you, but we're happy to review it for you if you'd like. So, Ms. Christelle, do you have Marissa's contact information as well?
I do. Yeah.
All right. Are there any other students on here that we may have missed or that joined late? Just check the old participant list here. Doesn't look like it. Wow, okay.
There may be some on YouTube.
That is true. Okay, very good. So if I will say this, if there are any students who are viewing on YouTube and you need help with your personal essays, please let Miss Christelle know so that she can get in contact with me and I'll be happy to review it for you. Okay, again, reach out to Miss Christelle, who will contact me. And this goes for any seniors who are on the call who or on YouTube who would like help with their personal essays for their college applications. All right, thanks again, you guys, for participating. I hope you learned a little bit there. So now we're going to move on to the presentation for CAP today. We have a guest speaker. Her name is Miss Munice Bruton, and she is the Director of Financial Aid at the Los Angeles Southwest College. Miss Munice, are you ready to begin your presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay, take it away.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, here we go. Today's presentation, can everyone see?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to go over what is financial aid programs, scholarships, and a little bit about repayment, because that is part of going to school also. Let's get this show moving. There we go. What is financial aid? The purpose of financial aid is to assist students who without such aid would be unable to go to school. And there is typically plenty of financial aid to assist you with going to school. It's not necessarily enough to provide you with an extravagant lifestyle, but that's what you're going to do down the road after you graduate from school. And financial aid, just so you know, is provided by the federal and state agencies, colleges, high schools, foundations, and individuals who make donations in the form of scholarships. But most of my focus today is going to be on federal financial aid, since it's the same across all campuses, and scholarships and how to find some. A few of the federal programs are your federal Pell Grant, and each year it tends to go up. Currently, a Pell Grant is $6,000. Well, we'll go into that in the next page. Typically, what we have are federal Pell Grants. Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grants, which are basically called FSEOG, that are campus-based grants that get awarded to you. Federal Work Study is a federal program, and it consists of jobs that are on campus to help you in your program of study and to put money in your pocket to help you with financing your education. Now, it depends on where you live as to what the minimum pay rate is. Currently, at Southwest College, federal work study students earn $14.49 per hour. And there's also low-cost direct student loans. For a Pell Grant, the maximum this year is $6,345. Now be wise when you're using your Pell Grant. The maximum eligibility is a lifetime eligibility of 600%, which is 6 years, 6 academic years of going to school. Back in the day when I went to Pell Grant, when I went to school, if you went to school for 20 years, you got a Pell Grant all 20 years. That has changed. You get a Pell Grant for 6 years and only while you're an undergraduate student. Once you get your bachelor's degree, you are no longer eligible for a Pell Grant. And as I said before, it's only for about 6 years of your education. The Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant is campus-based, and it depends on where you go to school. It will usually range anywhere from $250 a semester to $1,000 a semester. Typically, people who are eligible for the Pell Grant automatically get the FSEOG grant as long as they have at least 6 units. Basically, as long as you're at least a half-time student. Federal work study at campus-based jobs. When we say campus-based, it can also be off campus in an elementary school or a library in your community. Those are known as community service-based jobs, and typically it pays a little bit more than the campus-based jobs. It enables, as I said before, the federal work study jobs enable a student to earn money while they're going to school. Federal direct loans. You must be enrolled in 6 units at all times. So if you're going to school and you have a direct loan, which is a federal loan, and you drop below 6 units, 2 things are going to happen. One, it's going to instantly put you into the process of repayment, and you're no longer eligible for that next disbursement. The current interest rate is 2.75, but that's only good until June 30th, 2021. Each year the rate resets, but your financial aid professional at whatever institution you attend will let you know what that current rate is once you attend school. If you're a freshman and you're a dependent student, you can receive $5,500 in a direct loan. If you're independent, that's $9,000. So already we've talked about $9,000 in a direct loan, plus $6,000 in a Pell Grant. This is a nice amount of money that can assist you with going to school and whatever else that your school is able to give you in the FSEOG grant. That's not touching upon the many state grants that a lot of different states may have. Now, how do I get this money? The first thing you must do is fill out a FAFSA. You must be a US citizen, have a valid social security number. If you're a male, you need to register for selective service. If you don't want to register for selective service, you will not be eligible to receive federal funds. Also, you must have a high school diploma or a GED, and the name on your FAFSA must match what's on your social security card. So if your name on your social security card is Kamala Harris, but your family has been calling you Peaches, please do not put Peaches Harris on your FAFSA, because you will not be able to receive aid. And you'll start telling your financial aid professional, I did fill out my FAFSA. It won't be able to match because the name and the social security number must match your admissions records before the financial aid office will get your financial aid records. The information needed to fill out your application, and this information is verified through various checks and balances on the Department of Education side. So before the school gets the FAFSA information sent to them, you run through a lot of checks and balances in the background to make sure the information on the FAFSA is correct. It will verify your name, social security number, date of birth, high school graduation status, what your goals are. You're going to have to list. Well, it doesn't verify your goals because you're going to list whether you're going for what grade level you're in, whether you're a first level student or second level, whether you're a graduate student. It's going to ask dependency questions. Now, dependency for the government means you're under 24, because I know a lot of people think, well, I'm independent, I'm 18 years old, and I've been paying my own rent. You are a dependent according to the United States government until you are 24 years old, and your parent is required to try and assist you with your education. Do not fret. If your parent is not able to, that's okay. Then you become, well, they still have to provide information, but don't fret if your parent is not able to assist with you going to school, because there's going to be plenty of assistance out there to assist you. It's going to check your income records against your tax return. And they're currently working on a way where as soon as you put in your information, it will start to link up with IRS instead of having to go to the data retrieval tool, but that's in the process right now. So right now, if you fill out a FAFSA, it's going to go to the data retrieval tool to pull up your taxes. You can put up to, I believe, 8 different schools on your FAFSA. Now, when you put those school names on your FAFSA, they're not going to start dispersing money to you arbitrarily. So do not be concerned. You're going to put the different schools that you would like to attend so that before you walk into campus the very first day of school, they can start working on processing your financial aid. It does not mean that you're going to be responsible for anything, because you still have to actively be enrolled and attend class. But if you put down the different schools that you would like to attend, they can start to process your paperwork before you show up. The parent information will be pretty similar to yours, so you're going to need a parent, and it's the basic things: name, social security, date of birth, education level. I've had people ask me, well, why do they need to know my parents' education level? A lot of this is just for statistical information, so they can know that, okay, certain people from this area have a 2-parent income, where certain people in this zip code usually come from single-parent homes. A lot of this is information that is just used for statistical purposes to help the government in knowing how the appropriations should be allocated for the upcoming years, and to see which communities could possibly use additional assistance. So there's a lot that goes on when you fill out your FAFSA, aside from just you being eligible to receive money. It's also a tool that helps the government to see where is additional assistance possibly needed. Now,
Ms.
before
Muniz, I'm sorry, Ms. Muniz, may I interrupt really quickly? There is a question in the chat for you.
Okay, hold on. Whoa.
Are you able to see it?
Okay, I don't think that's fair for you guys. I thought if you make a certain amount, even if you were underage, you would not be dependent. Dependent is not based on income. Dependent is based purely on age. You are dependent if you're under 24, unless you have a dependent, which makes you then an adult, or if you've been in the service. It is not income based at all. And I know a lot of times students do get frustrated because what do they mean? I've been paying my own rent since I was 16. I'm sorry, but the government does require that a parent at least attempt to assist you in going to school until you turn 24. It doesn't mean that you haven't been living an adult, dependent, self-sufficient life. It's just for government purposes, the cutoff is 24. Even if you're underage, okay, and I don't think it's fair for guys that you have to register just in case. It's fair for guys. I mean that the guys have to register. Yes, they do. That part, you do have to be registered if you're male with selective service. Now, currently, we are not in any wars. And remember this part. In the time that I've been in financial aid, which is many years, I don't know if you can see this sugar coating in the top of my hair, but in the years that I've been here, we don't have the draft. We still have volunteers. So people, they usually have enough volunteers. This is in case they have to draft you into the service, but the draft was gone when I was like a lot of years ago. Many years ago, they got rid of the draft. So you don't have to be alarmed, but you know, every country has to have some type of militia. It's a part of life. And just in case we had some type of unimaginable war, and we didn't have enough people who volunteered, this is when this would come into place. But by that time, you would be long gone out of school. And it's only until you're 26 years old. So you just have to register. But it doesn't mean that they're going to call you to go to war. That is not how that works at all. It's just letting them know who is their available manpower in case. And remember, they are giving you money. Now, I'm glad that it's not men and women because I am a woman, but the government is giving you money. So they do have a right. Anytime someone is giving you money, they do have a right to make some conditions. And this is part of the condition. But just keep in mind that this would not happen unless we just ran out of people who volunteered. And right now, we have a fully active military of plenty of volunteers. So this would be a last resort. And even then, we would probably still have more people who volunteer before they had to start digging through FAFSAs looking for someone. But when you graduate and you get in Congress, you can challenge that. What is an FSA ID? It is a federal student identification that you will use for the rest of your life as long as you have ever taken out any type of federal aid or of direct loan, Pell Grant, any of that. And yes, it's very important that you remember what that number is and write it down someplace because you will not be able to go to the financial aid office and say, hey, I forgot my pen, can you reset me? No, you have to talk to federal student aid. And it takes a minute to get it reset because they don't know you personally. They can't look you up on Zoom and say, oh yeah, that looks like you. So they're going to ask you for personally identifiable information that you mail to them. And then when they contact you back and give you a password, they give you 20 minutes to use it before you have to start the process all over again. So you want to be very, very careful when you're setting that FSA ID because it is the ID that you will use for the remainder of your loan life. The account is very simple to make. When you get to it, it's just a few pages and it's going to ask basic information like name, social security, date of birth, those type of answers. So it's not going to be difficult. It's just your personal key to accessing information about your student financial records. Completing the FAFSA each year, they modify it and try to make it simpler and simpler. This is on a computer, but you can fill out your FAFSA from your cell phone now. So each year they really try to make it as simple as possible. How much will I receive? The financial aid office will let you know. However, it is based on how many units you're taking. You can receive money for one unit, but you're not going to receive as much as someone who is going to school full-time. And there are other factors that are going to be taken into consideration, such as your household size, whether someone else is going to school along with you, and your expected family contribution. What is that? There's a formula that goes on in the background when your information is submitted on your FAFSA. The calculation is performed to see how much can your family afford to pitch in. Now again, this does not mean that you won't get anything. It's just a calculation to see about how much can my family help. If things change in your household, like for a lot of people during the pandemic, you may have had a high EFC, but your parents during the pandemic, or you lost your job. That's okay. You just go to the financial aid office and say, what I submitted on my FAFSA has changed significantly, and they will review and make adjustments to your information. Can anything prevent me from receiving financial aid? Yes. Number one thing, not filling out the FAFSA. Number two thing, there's a process called verification. And I promise you, it is random. Although it may seem like, why did they ask me and not my cousin? It really is random. And now they're only picking 18% of the students in the United States, down from 33% just a couple of years ago. They're only going to randomly select 18% of the population. And it's not asking for extremely challenging things. When you're selected for verification, it's basically just to verify what you wrote on your FAFSA. So don't be alarmed. Another thing that will prevent you is not meeting SAP, satisfactory academic progress. Remember, these funds are for you to go to school. And every single school in the United States has a satisfactory academic progress rule, SAP. Remember, the people who are giving you the money have a criteria. They want to know that you are using this money to go to school. So if academically you're not progressing, they don't just cut you off and say, well, that's it. You have under a 2.0, you're out of here. You have to petition, what is known as petition, and explain, so what happened to your academics that prevented you from being able to make at least a 2.0 each term? You will never start out on SAP, but by your second year, you may be on SAP because they're going to want to know, you want some more money to continue your education? Your records don't prove that you're gaining anything from going to school. So you're going to be put on SAP at the college. But don't be alarmed. You just have to address your academics. If you have a current drug conviction, now let's remember, this is the government giving us money. So if you have a drug conviction, that means you've been making money selling drugs and the government didn't get their share. So they're not going to want to give you more money. If you go to rehab, you get reinstated. And you must meet your FAFSA application eligibility requirements, which we went over before, being a US citizen, having a valid social security number, those type of things. Okay, it's time to apply now. So please go ahead and apply now. You apply now for if you want to start school next fall. You apply now if you're attending school now or the spring. So be sure and get your FAFSA in as soon as possible, because the earlier you get it in, you may be, depending on which states you live in, you may be eligible for other state aid by having your FAFSA in at a certain deadline. In California, in order to be eligible for the Cal Grant, you have to have your FAFSA in by by March 2nd. Again, that's for a Cal Grant. Now, the great thing about the Cal Grant is additional money that you get in addition to the Pell, and it has that word attached, grant. In California, if you are a student who has a dependent under 18, you get a $6,000 Cal Grant every semester. That's pretty good. Now about scholarships. There's a lot of money out there for you. And you don't have to be alarmed. All you have to do is apply for it. Just apply. Wait, it's kind of weird that the government wants a share of the money. Well, it's making money illegally, and we have to always pay taxes on whatever we make. And typically, I don't know because I haven't sold drugs yet, but typically drug dealers don't pay taxes off the drug money, maybe off of other businesses, but off of drug money. And you're supposed to pay taxes. So yes, the government feels if you're selling drugs and you get convicted, we're not giving you some more money. Now about the scholarships, we're going to look at a couple of these scholarships because there's a lot of money out there. All you have to do is look for it. There is a lot of money to help you go to school. One of the ones we're going to look at right quickly is a Career Stop. I'm opening this page up now live. Everyone can see it. The one thing I want you to see is this is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. So this is a government website that has scholarships. Can everyone see those scholarships? Okay, so
Yes.
these scholarships, they only publish actual scholarships that are valid, that are viable, so you don't have to worry about scams, and it's updated pretty frequently. And like I said before, this is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor. So yes, they have a scholarship page for you to go to. And it's all different. Well, me scrolling is going to go really fast, but it's all types of scholarships on here. There's one for skilled trade and technology. There is one for digital marketing. And if we go to the bottom, as you can see, it goes from page 1 to 826. Tells you when the deadlines are and how much. There is money out there for you. So just take a moment when you're bored and look for it. Another scholarship I wanted to highlight.
Wait. I'm sorry, Miss Eunice. I wanted to ask you a question on that Career One Stop.
Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of pages. Is there a way to filter or select, a list, just look for specific type of scholarships? Because
I believe you can put in a
days trying to
keyword
go through that
search
many.
and just say,
Okay.
I don't want to put in a keyword and spell it wrong. So I will put in okay, I put in painting and I see already Metropolitan Museum of Art. If you can put in keywords and it will narrow it down. And it looks like that took it to 2 pages.
Okay, that helps. Okay.
Okay. And
Thank you.
why is college so expensive? We'll get to that in a moment. Some scholarships are kind of fun and kind of interesting. Unigo is a scholarship page, and we're going to take a quick look here at their sponsored scholarships. So for those of you who tend to have somewhat of a creative bent, hold on here a second. This is zipping through, but I'm going to stop on a page.
It might be helpful also if you could copy and paste and put these sites in the chat so the students can actually copy and paste it right now and they can save that.
Oh, okay.
Mark.
Okay. I shall do that. Hold on 1 second, because I'll look for one. Oh, this one. I thought this one was just priceless. Let me paste this. This is called, and this is legitimate, the Do-Over Scholarship. The application deadline date is June 30th, and what you have to write an essay. If you could get one do-over in life, what would it be and why? 250 words or less. That's an actual scholarship. So some of the scholarships I just kind of wanted to highlight that are kind of neat. And I'm going to go back to the main page so I can just put in Unigo and paste it in the page so that you can just have that also as a choice. And okay, 1 second here. There's also one under Unigo where you talk about why you think you're special. I mean, they have some that are just very interesting. For Halloween, they said, if a zombie apocalypse hit now, what would you do to save the earth? They have interesting ones. I'm going to go back and put the one from College One in there, just so you can have that handy. And I've also sent this PowerPoint to Stacy so that she can have it available for anyone who may need information from the scholarship. I'm pasting now the career one stop. Okay, we're almost at time.
No, we're not. We go until 6:30. You have plenty of time.
Oh, I don't have that much to say though.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's just different ones here that you can just go to. And because all of these have a hot link, I've sent this to Stacy, and she may be able to send this just this page out to you. Now, I want to also talk about repayment. That's one of the things we must be cognizant of, because we get out of school and we think,
get off that.
I just called.
Yeah, I remember. If we could just
hello? Okay, what happened?
Go for it.
I think someone came off mute by mistake.
Oh, okay. We have to be cognizant of repayment, because you don't want to spend all this wonderful time getting this awesome education, ready to go out and buy that house and that car, and you're in default. And all you hear is a lot of people say loans are expensive, and they are, and college is expensive. There is a payback, because the loans, if you take loans, and who can get a loan? Anybody in school can get direct student loans. Bill Gates' children can get direct loans. Loans are not credit-based. You just can't have negative credit within the past 90 days. Also, direct loans are not income-based. And the only difference is that instead of getting subsidized loans, your loans will be unsubsidized, which has a tad of a higher interest rate, but not astronomical. But anyone can get direct student loans if needed, as long as you don't have anything negative within the past 90 days. Repayment. There are many of repayment options out there now. If you're confused when you get out of school, just call the financial aid office and they can direct you. And you can get put into an income-based repayment plan that works for you. Do not ignore this, because if you apply for student loans, the minute you hit the apply button, it is posted on your credit report. It's posted as in good standing and not due yet, but it hits your credit report instantly. They being IRS, start tracking their money instantly. So when it comes time, you can get deferments, or you can get on a zero payment plan. Talk to your school. Speak to someone in financial aid. If you don't want to talk to the people who are calling you on the phone, the school can direct you to someone else who can assist you in making sure you do not go into default, or you get onto a payment plan that you can afford to pay. There is life after school, and no, you do not have to go into default. There's a payment plan that will be affordable to you, but you must pay it to keep that excellent credit rating.
So, Ms. Muniz, who would the student reach out to have that discussion about the payment plan? Is that at the school, or can you go a little bit more?
Typically, the school always has an office dedicated called default prevention. They have another office. It's not in the financial aid office. Typically, it's another division dedicated to helping you not go into default. So they usually reach out to you first. Like as soon as you graduate, they start reaching out to you saying, hey, here's some help with paying or when it's time for you to go into payment. They start reaching out saying, hey, have you started payment on your student loans? If you need help, give us a call. But if you don't receive that because you move, if you call the financial aid office, they always know who the default prevention team is, and they can get you in touch with those people. You do not have to go into default, and although you may be paying for a while, like I am, it is a way to pay it, be affordable, and still having a pretty good credit rating. My credit rating is outstanding. Well, really, it's called exceptional because I like having a high credit rating. Mm-hmm. But I am on a payment plan. So yes, you can be on a payment plan that suits you. Now it's time for the quiz. Okay, I'm kidding. Any questions? Okay, there was a question about why is college so expensive? Well, the thought is you carefully think about where you're going to school, make sure that school has a reputation for the type of program that you would like to get your degree in, so that you can get large dividends, which is a large paycheck, to pay back if you take out loans. Now, a lot of times you can get by on just grants and scholarships, and you can complete your education. Education is expensive because expensive. It's expensive. Here I go again. It's expensive because there is a payoff to going to school, regardless of what you hear. There is a payoff. Now, I know sometimes when you're young, your friends can start off making more than you're making, because when you're in school and you're a student and you're trying to do schoolwork, you may not go out and try to be president of a company, and you take just the job because your focus is your education, not the job at that point. But I can tell you, as a person who is much older, that as you get older, your choices will narrow if you don't have that piece of paper. So if you're someplace where you work for 20 years and you get laid off, without that piece of paper, it will make a huge difference. Yes, we've had recessions and depressions before. And yes, I have been without a job during a recession. And I had people tell me, with all that education, but when the jobs came back, who had the top job first? It will make a difference. Life is going to happen, but stay in school, because at the end of whatever is happening, that piece of paper will make a huge difference in your life.
And can I just add on a little bit too, Ms. Muniz? There are some companies or corporations that won't even hire you or won't even interview you if you don't have at least an undergraduate degree. It's almost like it's becoming a requirement now, at least in the corporate world, to have at least an undergraduate degree. But another way to look at college is that it's an investment in your future.
It is.
It is an investment in your future. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to get, the top job or the best job or, be president of the company. That I can't guarantee you that, but it is still an investment in your future. And when I have a little saying, which is the more you know, the higher you go. So don't think about it as being so super expensive. Think about it as being an investment in your future.
That's very correct. You get to have choices. You get to go to the bargaining table. I had a friend once, like I said, we were all laid off together. And when she was looking for jobs, she said, "Oh, I know what's wrong. They don't want to pay me what I'm asking for." And I'm like, no, they have no way to justify paying you what you're asking for, since you don't have a piece of paper to prove that they should. And there are things that you learn while going to school with the critical thinking that you don't even know that you learned it until situations come up and you're able to draw upon a vast amount of knowledge that you don't even realize you were receiving while you were receiving it. Your choices will be different, but I can tell you that as you get older, having the piece of paper will make a difference. Financial aid is there to assist you, but you do have to make at least a 2.0 and maintain that 2.0. Now, if you fall below it, they will not cut off your financial aid. Well, yes, they do. They stop it immediately, but you can get it reinstated if you have a plausible reason as to what happened. Remember, financial aid is there to assist you, and your proof that you're using it for its intended purpose is just passing academically. And no, they don't mean for you to use, because a lot of times in financial aid alone, you can get almost $10,000 per semester, and you usually get a fee waiver. So that's kind of like just $10,000 every 3 months. So just remember, you have to financial aid is for books, paper, housing, clothing, gasoline, health insurance, food, and anything you need to go to school. If you go to an art school, you might be able to go to school naked some days. Most people don't go to an art school, so you need clothes. Financial aid is to assist with whatever you need in order to go to school. That's why the Cal Grant pays $6,000 in California, because the Cal Grant is to assist with childcare for working parents who are going to school or non-working. So
I see that there's a question in the chat from Alicia. Alicia, you would like to come off mute and ask your question?
Yes. Hi, I'm Alicia, and I really do love this presentation. It's very educational, especially the scholarships. But my question was that I was kind of thinking about being an anesthesiologist, because it's a way to really help people and also learn a lot about medicine for myself, just in case you need to help somebody. I think that's always good to know. The only thing is that I learned to be an anesthesiologist. You have to be in school for 12 years, and that's a long time. And also, about being an anesthesiologist, I know that they make a good amount of money as well. Because my parents always told me that you have to, like, whatever I do, I have to make sure that I'm able to, like, be financially stable. So my dad was telling me, well, maybe go into computers, but I don't really like computers. So my question is, like, how do you think I should decide what I should do in life?
Are there any academic advisors on?
I'm not an academic advisor, but I do have something to say about it. And that is, I think that you should go with your passion and what you're really interested in. I look at it like this, and I share this with my own daughter. Those years are going to go by whether you're doing what you love or not. So 12 years ago, that's going to go by. So you might as well invest that time into pursuing something that you're really passionate about. Those 12 years are going to go by whether you are, a computer genius and you're, doing programming apps or whatever, but it's something that you're not really passionate about. So even when you're investing that time doing something that you love, Alicia, you'll still have, like, that income or whatever. And I think, as our moderator was saying earlier, you have that piece of paper credentialing that you know how to do what you love. So at the end of that 12 years, you get to reap everything that you've sown. So you might as well spend that time doing what that you're really interested in. That's my opinion on it. But like I said, I work in advertising. I'm not an academic advisor, but that's my take on it. And that's what I would tell my own daughter. In fact, she's sitting over there. I'm telling her now.
I think that's excellent. My undergrad is in accounting. I work in financial aid. And when I was a kid, they used to say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Sure. I love working in financial aid. It is my passion. I love all the different regs you have to know and all of that. And I tell you, some days I feel so happy and so satisfied and so overwhelmed until I feel sorry for anybody who ain't me, because I love my job and get to do what I like to do with my passion. Oh my God.
And you know what, too, Alicia? You may be surprised, because sometimes some fields, and I think this is where you would do some research and maybe even see where you can get some actual practice, maybe with someone, or because sometimes in some areas, you may think, okay, it's going to take 12 years, but depending on, they may be under the umbrella and it may be a different, like, stream of that. So I'm interested for you even to kind of do more research and kind of dive into, see that this is an area that you're interested in, because like Miss Muniz is saying, you want to follow your passion. Your passion, what makes your heart sing. If I say, I'm only going to pay you $1 for it, you say, you know what? Okay, right? That's how I feel about what I do as well. I love what I do, just like Miss Muniz. I wake up, I'm like, for the children, right? And so for all of you, and I'm doing what I actually went to school for. And so everybody's path is different. But in this time is for you to figure out and to try different things, because within your field, you may find, just like someone in business, they may get their major in business, but their business major may allow them to do all these different things. And so you have some flexibility, and really you want to be in a field that allows you to have some flexibility, or under the umbrella of, it may have a larger covering, and then you can do this, you could do that, you could be a counselor, you could be a trainer, you could be all these different things. So at the center, this is where we're going to help you, and partners like our lovely ladies here with AKAs, and resources from Southwest, these are all resources for to plug you in so we can figure out, and you can figure out exactly and try some different things. Same for you, Marissa, as well. For you to try out and see what you really love to do so you can find that passion.
So, there is one thing that I am very passionate in, and like something I can always I can spend hours doing, and that's singing. The only thing about that is that it's not a stable career, you know.
Well, I think and you all can feel free to add in. I think you don't feel like you just need to do one thing. Of course, you'll have your career, but you may have, I have a business. I have the Womb Center. I have my business. I sing at my church. So you may sing in different capacities. So you're still meeting that need of singing. And then you can decide, what kind of level of you want to take your singing to, and still be in your field and in your career.
Yeah, and I can add to that, Alicia, is that you do your passion. So I've been playing tennis since I was 4. So I still, even though I have a day job where I work for Johnson & Johnson every day, I still teach tennis on Saturdays and Sundays. So, and the tennis is my passion. I really go out there for the kids, for the adults, everybody that I, service. So it's not that I'm not on a circuit like Serena playing tennis like that, but I am still doing my passion, which is, playing tennis and helping others who want to learn the sport. So don't, like she was saying, you can take it into different avenues, you're singing. So don't think, it can be, this ending thing about, utilize your voice in a way that you would like to use your voice.
Yes, thank you for your guys' advice. I really appreciate it.
Now, I saw someone put in about taking 2 programs at once. You can only receive financial aid for having one program at a time. However, a lot of the programs have overlapping prerequisites. So you can use the same English class regardless of which degree you're going for. So it doesn't mean that you can't pursue it and receive financial aid. You can. And if you finish one program, but your other program may have another month or 2 to go, you can receive financial aid for that one. Your admissions personnel will just have to update your records. You can't get 2 different pockets of money, but you can get money while you are receiving 2 different programs at the same time.
And then one more thing I'd like to point out regarding scholarships is you don't have to just do it your freshman year, apply for scholarships to get into college your freshman year. You can do it sophomore and junior year as well, because you're going to be needing money throughout your whole curriculum. And I just want to let you guys know that Alpha Kappa Alpha, as well as pretty much all the other Divine Nine or Greek organizations, do scholarships annually. So definitely be on the lookout, because if you're interested in a scholarship with our organization, we do them usually every, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, is it March or April timeframe in our chapter? We do have scholarships. But again, all of the Greek letter organizations, at least the Divine Nine, the Black Greek letter organizations, do have some type of scholarships out there. And you don't need to do it just for your freshman year, like just to get into college. You can do it even when you're a sophomore or a junior.
Looking out at even when you're in college, there's scholarships. So when you're in your program and in your field, there's scholarships that your program is going to provide as well, that you can apply for. And so that will be monies that you can apply throughout your schooling, like just like Stacy, like you're saying, so in your departments.
Okay, so apply for those scholarships. Like you see, some are fun.
I have another thing. Okay, so I also heard that like medical school is like a lot of brain power and needs a lot of time and effort. So I'm also kind of worried about spreading myself too thin, like because I know that I want to be able to like help people in like the medical field, but I also like want to like pursue my really like my big passion, which is singing. But at the same time, I don't want to like, and also I'm not fully sure if like I like because because I don't really know all of being an anesthesiologist, but what I do know about it is that like you're able to help people, and I know that that's like a more of like a back, like not a back, like it's like a like you don't really notice the anesthesiologist, but they're not like the stars of the hospital, if that makes sense. So
Like
I
behind the
kind of
scenes.
like that. Yeah, I kind of like that aspect of it. Um but I just don't want to like go into college and then be like, oh, I don't like it, and then I have to still pay like a lot of money because of the college, and plus I usually never like give up to like things that I sign up for because I don't know, I just don't like to give up, and also I don't want to be like, oh well, all this time passed, like how you said, like the time goes by fast, like 12 years will go by fast. Like I don't want to be like, oh well, all this time passed and I didn't try to do that, if that makes sense.
Usually the academic office or the counselor will be able to guide you along in where your natural inclination is pointing. They'll usually help you with that, but typically you just won't know what you're going to gain until you delve into it. And there will be plenty of money along the path for a medical student.
Thank you.
Well, Ms. Muniz, did you have anything else on your presentation, or was that the last slide?
That's it.
Okay, very good. Are there any other questions? Either in the chat or you can come off mute. No? Okay. Well, I just want to remind you guys, I'm not sure, I think we may have had one or two more students to join us since we started. We played a game at the beginning called Kahoot. It was an HBCU trivia game. And I did offer that we would review and critique your personal statements, if you'd like, the ones that you have to fill out for your college applications. So for anyone who joined us after the game, even though I said only the first two, I am open to reviewing other people's, other students' personal statements. So get in contact with Ms. Christelle, send that to her and she'll send it to me, and then we can communicate that way. And if you want someone to review and critique your personal statements for your college applications. I'm also able to share this presentation with Ms. Christelle. So if there was additional information here that you missed or want to hear again, you can have access to that. Would anybody else like to share about well, let's just go back to the students. Let's do this. I know what I believe it's Marissa said she wants to study, but who else is on the line that would like to share what they want to study in college? What about Alicia? Or is there anyone else on who would like to share what they want to study in college? Don't be shy.
I'm thinking that was Alicia that was giving us.
Oh, that was Alicia? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Marissa,
yeah.
or anyone else? Yeah. Please don't be shy. You have a wealth of knowledge on this call with you right now. A lot of degrees on here.
So I'll say what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna major in English, and I was thinking about minoring in math, and then after I get my bachelor's degree, I'm gonna go into law school.
Awesome. Now, who is that that's speaking?
Marissa.
Marissa. Okay. Very, very good. I like your mindset there. It sounds like you have a good plan. What, if you don't mind sharing, what schools are you considering or interested in attending?
So I've applied to a few schools, but my main two schools right now is UNLV and Pepperdine. Those are two schools that I'm having trouble trying to decide where I want to go to. Okay. But I've also applied to the University of Florida and to a few UCs, but I'm really interested into Pepperdine and UNLV.
Okay, very good. Good for you. It sounds like you have a good game plan there. Very good. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, Marissa. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Tanisha's daughter. I would like to go into law. What undergrad degrees should I go for?
Well, I'm not the best one to ask that. I think we do have an attorney on the line who may be able to give you a little bit of input. We don't have a college guidance counselor on here right now, but is anyone on here who would be able to speak to that? No? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm probably not the best one to ask. I know some people who studied, who majored in English, and actually pretty much most of the undergraduate courses of study who work for going into law. And some colleges have what's called a pre-law program. So you may not be able to get like a law degree per se, but you can go into a pre-law program that will give you the courses you need and gear you towards going into or taking I believe it's called the LSAT, or the exam that you need to take to get into law school. But I do know quite a few people who have majored in English and in economics and then went on into law school. And again, there are pre-law programs. But I would definitely encourage you to speak with your high school counselor, or, well, yeah, you can speak with your high school counselor, as well as once you choose your college, choose your college, you can speak to a college counselor as well to get more information.
Can I say something about that? So
sure.
She said she wanted to go into law, so that's what I wanted to do too. So I spent a lot of time doing research on that, actually trying to figure out what major I was going to major in before I applied to a few schools. So I saw that a lot of people, so I'm going to major in English because it gives me a lot of comprehensive skills when going into law, because being the type of lawyer that you are, so you might not always be in a courtroom, so it's a lot of paperwork. And so I think that, well, I want to go into English. Well, I'm going to major into English because I feel like it will help me writing a whole bunch, because it's a lot of writing stuff and a lot of reading and a lot of comprehensive skills. So that's why I'm going into English. And then I also did a lot of research, and on multiple sources, they said that a lot of people that majored in math got really high LSAT scores. And I know that's going to be a test that I have to take once I get my bachelor's. So that's why I'm gonna minor in math, because math is not my subject. So that's why I wasn't gonna actually major in it. I was just gonna major in English because that is a subject that I'm getting, and it'll benefit me for when I do become a lawyer. And then math will also help. So yeah.
That's good.
Wow, Marissa, you have done your research. I'm super impressed, and I do believe you're going to do well, regardless of if you choose UNLV or Pepperdine. That is awesome to hear. I hope that helped answer the question, at least somewhat. Is Sa on the call with us still? I'm just curious if she's able to chime in, because she is an attorney. No.
Did I hear correctly, Marissa? Are you interested in Pepperdine?
I am interested in Pepperdine, yes. I've been recently talking with one of the professors there, and then I should be talking with her soon, but I really like Pepperdine and have a lot of interest in that school.
That's where I graduated from. I really
back.
enjoyed my time there. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot of great things about Pepperdine, and I've been to their campus too. Their campus is really nice, and the church too.
It's beautiful. If you have any other questions about the school, I'd be happy to answer them for you offline.
That would be great.
Hey, Stacy, we have Sauda back now, so she can probably give
Okay.
a little bit more information about law school or about a major, that someone should have before going into law school.
Okay, thank you.
So
that was the question. Someone was interested in considering law, wants to go to law school, but wants to know what should they study in undergrad.
Well, so I'm actually one of those people who probably did not go the traditional route. I think I wrote in the chat, I went because I'm also have I'm an actor and a film producer. So I actually studied my passion undergrad and then decided to go the practical route and go to law school. So I guess to that point, for law school, you don't necessarily have to study a particular major, but it will be easier if you do like a political science, business major, a lot of different majors where you have to analyze information, it would make it a lot easier for you when you go to law school, because I was a little bit kind of behind the I don't know, the black ball, for lack of a better word. But I was behind, and I had to kind of figure out a lot of different things because of my theater background. So I don't know if that answers the question, Stacy. I can't
Stacy,
hear
you
you.
still on
Yeah,
mute?
it helps. I was saying it helps, but it helps if you come off mute when you try to talk. Yes, that does help. I guess what that kind of reiterates the point I was making. There's no like one set degree that you should have to do to go into pre-law. Like I know people that have majored in English, people have majored in math, and still went to law school. And like you were saying, you studied theater. I mean, there are some schools that have a pre-law program that will give you courses to gear you towards getting yourself ready for law school, but there's no like one set major that you just really have to do if you want to go into law, I think is what we're trying to
This
say
is
here.
correct. And if you decide that, well, the only thing that it depends on what type of law you decide you want to practice. So for example, in order to be a patent attorney, you have to have a degree undergraduate in engineering, right? So if you already know ahead of time that you want to do a particular industry of law, then you might want to research to see if there's a requirement as far as what your undergraduate degree has to be. But honestly, that's really like a one-off for the most part. To your point, Stacy, it doesn't matter to the extent of getting in law school, as long as you have really good grades and you do well on the the entry and have community service. However, having certain majors, as I mentioned before, would help the transition a little bit, in my opinion, just from my experience in law school. So
Okay.
that's something to think about.
Okay, very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem.
Are there any other questions? Did we cover everything? Does anyone else have any input or stories they'd like to share or tell to the students?
Oh, what are the requirements to get into Spelman?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because I just did a
Stacy knows
college fair.
that.
Yeah, I just did a college fair last Saturday for Spelman. So, good grades are always important, of course, a good GPA and good test scores, although right now Spelman is waiving test scores. However, Spelman is looking for well-rounded women, and women who want to be leaders, and women who want to change the world, and who want to contribute something to society. So you do have to write you have to have 2 letters of recommendation. You do need to have write your personal statement, and they do use the Common App, by the way, for college applications. And in your personal statement, the story you want to tell is who you are, what you want to be, what you want to contribute to society. Why do you want to go to Spelman? What makes you stand out? What makes you a leader? Or what have you done to show initiative? Or what have you done to overcome an obstacle in your life? We're just looking for well-rounded women. Again, GPA is great. Test scores are great, but that's not all it takes to get into Spelman. It takes a little bit more than that. And I'm happy to share a little bit more with you offline, of course, because I don't know that everyone else on here wants that information, but I am happy to share that with you offline. Who was that? Was that Alicia that asked?
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it was me that asked.
Okay. Okay. Yes,
Oh, I'm
Miss
sorry.
Michelle.
I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to make sure you use the terminology Common App. Both Marissa and Alicia were both familiar.
Oh, that's right.
with
Okay.
what the Common App is.
I just assumed that everyone knew because you guys are seniors, but Common App is the platform, the web platform that you would use to do your college applications. And basically you can just fill out your college application one time and then shoot it off to the various different schools that you're interested in applying to. Again, it's called Common App.
And also, just to chime in and piggyback on what Stacy just mentioned, everything that she said, I know that having gone to a PWI, I went to USC. A lot of the requirements, are the same, and in terms of really having the grades, as well as they look at your leadership, they look at community service, And then a lot of the schools have waived the entry exam, especially I guess in the wake of COVID, but some have just done it permanently. So definitely do your research as far as the entrance exam. But I just think in general, because we all are high achievers on this call, we just want to make sure that you are not just focusing on grades, although it's important, but that you're also giving back to the community and really just showing that, as Stacy said, that you're well-rounded, because that's going to be important when they look at what they consider to be high achieving.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we are looking, community service, extracurricular activities. Again, you need to show more than just good grades and good test scores, although as we mentioned, test scores are being waived. And just to give you an idea, for the students that came into Spelman in 2019, the average GPA, again, average GPA was 3.80. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to have the 3.80. That's just what the average GPA was for the class that started in 2019. Okay, hope that helps. And Alicia, you're welcome to reach out to me directly through Miss Christelle, and then she can get in contact with me and put us together. Okay, I appreciate everyone's time. I hope that you guys learned something and gain some insightful knowledge today. If you missed anything, I'm sure you all are already aware, but just in case you're not, this was streamed over YouTube. So you can also go back on Wooten Center's YouTube page to re-listen to or review and watch this recording for today's session again. This will conclude our CAP session for 2020. It has been a pleasure and a joy working with you guys this year. I hope that we were able to help you with your college application process, that you learned how to write your personal statement, that you learned about extracurricular activities and the importance of managing your social media, that you learned a little bit about HBCUs and about college work study and about study abroad programs and how to do virtual tours. All of these things I'm mentioning are topics that we covered this past year via the CAP program. We will be starting up again in 2021. At this point, I don't believe we will be doing a January session. More than likely, we'll start back in February, more than likely. But I will be working with Miss Christelle and Miss Naomi to verify when we're ready to start up again. In the meantime, I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, a wonderful holiday season, Happy Kwanzaa, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much for attending and have a great evening. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.